Today, let's talk about the English Premier League, and specifically, let's talk about the goals.
Right.
I'd like to ask you,
Continue.
which are the most scoring teams in the English Premier League history?
Actually, there are very many teams in the English Premier League which have scored very many goals, but today I can select for you only 10 teams in the English Premier League which have scored most goals in the history of EPL.
Okay, number 10.
Number 10 is West Ham.
Yes!
West Ham United have spent some times outside the top flight. They have equally been in the league more often, and West Ham's goal scoring culture has likely saved them from spending more time outside the top flight.
Yeah, very true. And I believe West Ham's best scoring season was the 2015-2016 season, where they finished 7th in the league and they scored 65 goals.
Yeah, you are right. And interestingly, with the top scorers being Dimitri Payet and Andy Carroll by that time, who both scored 9 goals each, West Ham has scored a total of 1,320 goals in the history of EPL, making West Ham United the 10th team in EPL to score most goals in the history of the English Premier League.
Number 9.
Number 9 is Aston Villa. Aston Villa haven't been in the Premier League every season, but also like the Hammers,
Continue.
they have often managed to survive in the top flight thanks to the goals that they have managed to score.
Yeah, that is very true. And Aston Villa's best scoring season was the 2007-2008 season.
Right?
They finished 6th on the table.
Yep.
And they scored 71 goals.
Yeah, you're right. The team's top scorer by that time was John Carew, who netted 13 times. And Aston Villa has scored a total of 1,375 goals in the history of EPL, making Aston Villa the 9th team in the EPL to score most goals in the history of English Premier League.
Number 8.
Number 8 is Newcastle United. Even though they have spent time outside the English Premier League top flight in the last 30 years,
Continue.
as they have had 2 lethal goal scorers in their team during the Premier League era, that is Andrew Cole and Alan Shearer.
Yes, I agree with you. And Newcastle's best scoring season was actually their very first season. That was the 1993-94 season, where they finished 3rd and they scored 82 goals.
Yeah, you are right. And the top scorer that season was Andrew Cole, who scored a remarkable 34 goals in the English Premier League campaign. Newcastle so far has scored a total of 1,502 goals in the history of EPL, making Newcastle the 8th team in EPL to score most goals in the history of English Premier League.
Number 7.
Number 7 is Everton. Everton has never been relegated in EPL. Their highest finish in the top flight was 4th place in 2004-2005 season. But when it comes to goal scoring, their best season came long before that.
And the Toffees actually had their best season being 1995 and 1996,
Continue.
where they actually had played just for the 4th time, and they finished 6th and scored 65 goals.
You're right. Actually, it was 64 goals. Everton's top scorer that season was winger Andy Kaczynskis, who chipped in impressive 16 goals. Everton has so far scored a whopping 1,554 goals in the EPL history, making Everton the 7th team in EPL to score most goals in English Premier League history.
Number 6.
Number 6 is Manchester City. They have dominated the English Premier League in the past few years, and they could go further up with the list of goals. But currently, they find themselves in the 6th place.
That is very true. And City's best scoring season actually came in the 2017-2018 season,
Yep.
where they scored 106 goals. It was a record. And they ended up winning the league.
Yeah, you're right. And City's top scorer by that time was Sergio Aguero, who scored 21 goals in the middle of the run, and he remained the top scorer for the 5 seasons in a row. Manchester City has so far scored 1,814 goals in EPL history, making Manchester City the 6th team in EPL to score most goals in the history of English Premier League.
Number 5.
Number 5 is Tottenham Hotspur. Despite the number of goals that Tottenham Hotspur has scored since Premier League started, they haven't won EPL yet. On the other side, they have been having very good strikers like Jurgen Klinsmann and Harry Kane.
Oh yes, and actually Tottenham Hotspur's best scoring season came in the 2016-2017 season. They scored 86 goals and they finished second. Then that was actually their best finish so far.
You are right. Tottenham Hotspur top scorer by that time was Harry Kane with the 29 goals. And Kane was Tottenham Hotspur top scorer for the last 7 seasons by the time he was there. Which shows how good goal scorer he was. Tottenham Hotspur so far has scored a total of 1,870 goals in EPL history, making Tottenham Hotspur the 5th team in EPL to score most goals in the history of English Premier League.
Oh yes. Number 4.
Number 4 is Chelsea. Chelsea have won multiple Premier League titles, but they are worth to be in the first place in the list. Had they won their first title in 2004-2005, they would have been higher up than where they are right now. But Chelsea's fans will likely be satisfied with the football they have watched for over 20 years now.
Oh yes, that is true. And actually Chelsea's best scoring season came in the 2009-2010 season, where they scored an incredible 103 goals.
You are right. The Stamford Bridge side top scorer by that time was Chelsea legend Didier Drogba, who scored 29 times. Chelsea has scored a total of 2,055 goals in the Premier League history, making them the 4th team in EPL to score most goals in the history of English Premier League.
3.
Number 3 is Liverpool. Liverpool have been in the EPL for the last 30 plus years. They have won many games, they have scored many goals, but they have managed to win only 1 EPL title. That was in the 2019-2020 season.
Very true. And actually Liverpool's best scoring season was the 2013-2014 season. They scored 101 goals. But unfortunately, the title was taken away by Man City because they ended up second.
Yeah, you're right. Liverpool has so far scored a total of 2,160 goals in the history of EPL, making Liverpool the 3rd team in EPL to score most goals in the history of English Premier League.
Number 2.
Number 2 is Arsenal. In much of the league's existence, Arsenal have been on the top EPL competitions. Indeed, they have won the English Premier League 3 times.
Oh yes, and actually their best scoring season came in the 2004-2005 season, where they scored 87 goals and they finished runners-up behind Chelsea.
Yeah, you're right. The Gunners' top scorer by that season was legend Thierry Henry, who scored 25 goals. Arsenal has scored a total of 2,173 goals in the EPL history, making Arsenal the 2nd team in EPL to score most goals in the history of English Premier League.
Number 1.
Number 1 is Manchester United. Interestingly, Manchester United have won 13 Premier League titles.
Oh wow, and actually their best scoring season came in the 1999-2000 season, where they scored 97 goals and went ahead to win the title.
Yeah, United top scorer by that time was legend Wayne Rooney, who scored 26 goals. Manchester United has scored a total of 2,280 goals in history of EPL, making Manchester United the only team in EPL to score most goals in the history of English Premier League. Subscribe to our YouTube channel for more information like this. Thank you for subscribing and bye-bye.